Hello, everybody, to GravityKit Live. I'm Zach,
Hey everybody, I'm Casey.
and yeah, we've got an exciting update today. We've been making huge progress on our GravityBoard add-on, which is really cool. Uh, I've been loving working on it, and I'm excited about all the use cases that it unlocks.
Yeah, me too. I've had a lot of fun using it, and it's continuing to get more and more powerful with a lot of new and interesting features. So we're excited to showcase some of those today.
Yeah, and what else do we have going on today, Casey?
Yeah, we're gonna be looking at GravityBoard, go through a demo of some of the new features. We're also going to be looking at a couple of new updates from Gravity Forms, a few interesting things to highlight there. We might be chatting a little bit about AI as well towards the end if we have some time. We're doing some interesting things with AI, as I'm sure many other people are. And then we have a couple of questions as well that came in. And of course, if anybody watching live has any questions for us, you can drop them in the chat at any time, and we will answer them for you.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what you have to say. So, Casey, Rocket Genius, Gravity Forms, they have a new podcast.
They do, yeah.
We love
Let me show it off here.
we love Matt Medeiros' podcasts everywhere they are, including the WP Minute and Breakdown. And what is this new podcast, Casey?
Yeah, this is really interesting. It's called Crew Collective, a podcast from Rocket Genius, which of course are the fine folks behind Gravity Forms. And yeah, it's a podcast dedicated to the art of storytelling. So something a little bit different, Zach. I don't think this is product related in any sense. I think this is something very new and creative. And they're going to be talking about the art of storytelling through interviewing different guests who perhaps have written books or made movies or things like that. That's kind of what I'm envisioning after listening to the trailer.
That's really cool. And I personally don't listen to many work-related podcasts. I like listening to podcasts about movies or analyzing, for example, The Power Broker, which is a book about public administration in New York City and how we got to the road nightmare that we currently have. So Crew Collective sounds right up my alley, where it's talking about other things, not only work. So I'm really excited to hear about it, or to hear it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. And I'm also excited for the first episode. Yeah.
Yeah, so check it out. Where can people find this?
Yeah, you can find this at crewcollectivepodcast.com. And here is the name again.
Cool.
Yeah, so we've got another piece of news from Gravity Forms, which is that they just released the official Brevo add-on, Zach.
Yeah, and Brevo, I never remember which one Brevo is. Did they rebrand recently?
Yeah, so Brevo used to be Send in Blue.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So essentially it's an email sending service, an email marketing platform. And yeah, they've just released version 1.0 of the add-on. So that allows you to integrate Gravity Forms if you're using Brevo as your email marketing suite or your CRM.
Yeah, and Brevo, it consistently ranks among the top of our friends over at WP Fusion. They have a write-up for different CRMs that integrate really well with WordPress. Brevo performs really well in their roundups and comparisons. And I've looked at it a few times, and it always impresses me, especially if you look at the price for what they charge is way less than what we use, Casey. We use Drip. But I've looked at Brevo many times and salivated a little bit at the possibilities of moving over. So for anybody who hasn't checked out Brevo, check it out. So I think that's going to be a good add-on to add to your arsenal.
Yeah, absolutely. It does look very good.
And Liam over on LinkedIn, hi Liam, says, "Whoa, new podcast sounds cool. Thanks for sharing that." So, thank you for watching, and glad to let you know about it.
Yeah, for sure. And then we have a little bit of news from here at GravityKit. And I wanted to highlight this because this is a case study we recently put out, highlighting one of our customers, Dr. Tony Jenkins, who runs an incredible organization called the Global Campaign for Peace Education. And it's pretty much entirely powered by WordPress and GravityKit. So we really wanted to highlight this here, and all the incredible work that they're doing. They have a number of different initiatives that they are running, including the Mapping Peace Education Initiative. They have a Humans of Peace Education advocacy campaign. And essentially they have these interactive maps on their site showing all the locations around the world that are affiliated with their organization, involved in peace education. And all of this is powered by GravityView. But then they also have a number of other parts of their site and different functionalities that are powered by other plugins like Gravity Calendar, for example. And they have like interactive conference guides and things like that that are all using Gravity Forms and GravityKit. So this is really fantastic example of what a nonprofit can do, even when they're resource constrained. If you have the right tools, you can really build something that's scalable and making a huge impact in the world, as the Campaign for Peace Education is, and highlighting that as the fact that it was actually nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, which is incredible.
So cool. Yeah, and my wife was the executive director of a nonprofit, so I very well understand the struggles that nonprofits face, especially small ones. And so we at GravityKit have a 50% off nonprofit discount that is not just the first year, but it's ongoing. So any nonprofits out there, please get in touch with us. We have a forum on our website that you can submit nonprofit pricing. So please, if you are listening, we want to support you in what you do. Thank you for your work. We know how undervalued you are, and so we want to undervalue our products by 50% to help you out. I don't know. That's a terrible segue. Ken, hello, Ken. Hi, Casey and Zach. Hi, Ken. Good.
Hi, Ken.
Glad you can make it. Liam also says that he started using Brevo in April for a client project and is very pleased with it. That's great.
Nice.
Yeah, so check it out. Also, if anybody has any questions watching live, please ask. We are happy to answer them, and we love to.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Zach, should we get into some of the demos that we had planned?
Yeah, so we've been receiving your feedback from GravityBoard 1.0, and I've been loving hearing everything that people have to say. As with all of our products, but especially our new products, please let us know what you want to see in it. As detailed as you can be, as extensive as you can be. We want to hear how you love it. We want to hear how you hate it. We want to hear how you want it to work, that it is working like that or it isn't working like that. We want to hear everything. Please write us screeds, write us proverbial novels. We will break them down into action items, and I will put them on the Gravity board that we have for internal development and move them to the done column as soon as possible. So we just got great feedback from one of our customers that is so wonderful and juicy. I don't know if anybody out there has a product company that's watching. It's great to receive lots of feedback on your products. So please use GravityBoard. Fill it out, fill out our support form. Let us know how you want it to be better, because we want to make that happen. And one of the things that we were hearing a lot immediately from a bunch of customers who are using GravityBoard 1.0 said, we need checklists. We need to know for each of these entries that is represented as a card on a board, we need to have sub checklists. We need to make sure that each item can have individual sub actions associated with it. So that's what we did first. And checklists are ready. And it's going to be coming out later this week. And we'd love to give you an early peek. But before we do, Casey, Ken says, I showed GravityBoard to a friend of mine. He currently uses Trello and really likes what you did with GravityBoard. Thank you, Ken. Well, your friend is going to also hopefully really like what we're demonstrating now, which is checklists. And a bunch of other cool stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What does that look like, Casey?
Yeah, so just like Zach said, a lot of people wanted, to have checklist items of subtasks inside a card. So this is what, the Gravity board looks like. And we have cards here we can drag between different lanes to manage tasks and projects. And then you can click into your card and you have some information like the title and the assignees and the label and the description, etc. And one thing that's nice to have is, kind of like subtasks within here. So you know the different things that you need to get done before you can drag this to the completed column. So now we have this feature, and yeah, it's really exciting. So let me go through exactly kind of how it works and how to set it up. So I've got my board all set up here, but what I'm going to go and do is just go into the back end here, and you can see my board is set up here as a feed in Gravity Forms, and it's linked to my tasks form, and that's where the task data is coming from. And I'm going to edit my board. And then here in the feed settings, you can see I'm on the first tab here, which is Configure Board. If I scroll down, you can see here you can enable the various features in GravityBoard. So you have control over what features you want to use. And here we've added the checklists feature. So to enable that, all I need to do is toggle that on. And now we're able to add checklists and checklist items to cards on the board. So now I can save that. And then I'll go back to my board here, the front end, and I'll refresh the page. And then let me click into one of these cards. And now if I scroll down under attachments here, you can see I have a checklist that I'm able to populate with different items. And all I need to do is click this button here, add an item, and then I can add a checklist item. So this is my subtask, for example, and click add, and that will add that to my checklist. And that is something that I can actually cross off here once I've completed it. And let me go ahead and add a few more actually, so you can see how this works. Another subtask, and one more. All right, so now we have 3 checklist items, and what you can do is reorder them if you want to. So it's drag and drop. So I can grab this one and just drag it to the top, for example. I always like to do that. I like to have the ones that I've checked off on the bottom. So that's really nice. And then once you do check an item off, you can see there's kind of like a progress indicator here. And you can see here it has checklist 1 out of 3, and then a nice progress bar, so we can see how much progress has been made. And then, of course, this gets crossed out as well. And then if I wanted to drag that to the bottom, I can do that. So I have the 2 open tasks at the top, which is really nice. Oh, this one's not dragging, but I can drag this.
Apparently, we need to fix dragging to the bottom.
Yeah. But yeah, this is obviously still being worked on, but it will be released very, very soon. So yeah, and then another thing you can do is, of course, you can delete tasks as well. So say you added a subtask and you realize, oh, actually, this belonged to a different card, or it's not relevant anymore. You can just remove it completely by clicking the delete icon. And then the progress bar will adjust accordingly. So
is there a quick way to see which cards on the board have checklists that are incomplete?
Oh, yes. Now you're testing my GravityBoard knowledge. Yeah, so once I've added the checklist, first of all, you can see it. There's a little preview icon here, which shows that there's a checklist active, and I've got 1 out of 2 subtasks. And then, Zach, do we have a filter for this as well?
We do.
Awesome. So all I need to do then is just click on the filters here at the top right. And here I can filter cards by a number of different things, including checklists down here at the bottom. So yeah, so we can filter by cards that don't have any checklists. We can filter by incomplete checklists, which is just that one that I created earlier. And then we also have the ability to filter by complete checklists. So that's fantastic. So that allows you just to really kind of drill down if you have a lot of tasks on the go and kind of see what the status is of everything.
Yeah, and if you have a checklist, like if you only want to see incomplete checklists assigned to specific people that's due in the next week, you can do that using our filters. And then you can also, that's a link that is going to be permanent, so you can refresh the page. You can share it in your Slack channel to really drill down into the specific items that need to be done.
Yeah, that's such a great point. As you filter there, you can see the URL updates here. So like Zach was saying, you can just copy this URL and you could send it to, for example, whoever's assigned to this task. And then they can see exactly what they need to do. And it's going to be pre-filtered for them.
Yeah, so we're really excited about checklists. We have lots more features planned for our checklists integration. I don't want to spill the beans yet on what those are going to be, but it's going to be more powerful than it already is. And Paul says, "Wow, this is fantastic. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. We'd love to hear more from what you hope to see in the future. So send us an email."
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
in addition to checklists, we have a bunch of other stuff that's being improved in GravityBoard. What are we going to see next, Casey?
Yeah, what I wanted to quickly highlight here was the Markdown formatting, Zach, because I believe this was released in version 1.0.
It might have been, but I love it so much. I think it was the last minute edition because I'm a Markdown fiend. Anything I can write in Markdown, I do. And I was writing notes for I was using GravityBoard to plan the GravityBoard release, and I was using Markdown inside the description field. And I realized, wait a second, it's rendering as text. Shouldn't it be formatted? Wouldn't that be nice? So let's let's see what that could look like. And actually, it does look like, because this already works.
Yeah, totally. So when you open up a card here, you have the ability to edit the description. So this field actually is coming from Gravity Forms. All these fields you can see on the card. But you can edit everything here in GravityBoard, including the description here. And this is editable. And you can use Markdown to kind of format your text. So like if I wanted to make this like an H2, for example, something like this, I could do that in Markdown. And then like if I wanted to add a link, I can do that here and add my URL here. And all of this is updated once I update the card. There you go. I just click outside and you can see that this has been turned into a heading for me. And this is now a clickable anchor link. So it takes that Markdown and formats it for you. And this is really nice as a way to get kind of like, rich text in your tasks as opposed to just plain text. And Zach, for anyone who actually doesn't know like what Markdown is, maybe you could give like a quick description.
Sure. Markdown is a way to get rich text in a way that's parsable as just plain text. So like the whole concept with Markdown is that you write a plain text file and you're able to look at it and see that two hash marks, like in Casey's text here, means an H2, a heading 2. Even if you don't know Markdown, it should be readable. by humans. And like this, what Casey is writing right now is a block quote, and it uses kind of standard right angle bracket, which is used in email replies historically. So if you're even just looking at Markdown as a plain text file, it should look readable. And then if you render it using computers, it should be rich text, but you don't have to format it. Like one of the problems with Microsoft Word, for example, is you have like all this horrible formatting that isn't transferable to other code without mutating without like running it through a processor to convert Word into a text file. Markdown is just text, and it's easy for it to process. One thing that was fun is that, Casey, the Markdown. Do you know how to do checklists in Markdown?
Yeah. So it's like this, and then we have two
And then a space.
brackets,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
So you can even do checklists inside the description field with Markdown.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
so if you want to have a checklist and a checklist in Markdown, you can do both now instead of just in the Markdown field. There you go. So you can
Oh,
see
wow, that's cool. And I can
the
check it
input
off.
is rendered there, and if you put an X inside of that, it'll render as done.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I
So
love this.
one cool thing as well you could do is add an image tag in here. So you can embed images in line with the rest of your text. It really turns it into full content editor type of thing. And that, spoiler alert, that's on the board as well for things we want to develop, is to have a rich text editor so that you can edit text without having to know Markdown. You could just click the bold icon, for example.
Yeah, this is great. I love this. And I got into Markdown kind of a bit late, but when I did, I also got hooked on it because I realized how easy it is. And yeah, if anybody's kind of new to it, you can check out, I found this Markdown cheat sheet online. There's loads of these, and it's super easy to learn. So you can find these like Markdown cheat sheets, and yeah, you'll learn it in no time, and you'll be hooked as well.
Yeah, and Markdown also does support like tables and stuff. It's a great way to have text that's able to be transferred between sites and stuff. We have somebody's, well, not just somebody, we have Vicky saying, I was about to ask if a rich text editor in the paragraph text field would work. Yeah, we're looking into different options for how to support. It would essentially be a Markdown editor, is what I'm thinking, because rich text is such a pain in the neck to handle, and like then you'd have to render the HTML, and HTML is a pain in the neck as well. So I'm thinking it would be a rich text editor that looks easy to use. All right, cool. So yeah, we have Markdown support. We have checklists, and we also, Casey, in version 1.1, which is going to be coming out later this week if all goes according to plan, keyboard navigation is something cool that's new.
Yeah, totally.
Or it's not only new, but it's improved and enhanced.
Yes, absolutely. Zach, you were showing me this earlier, and it's really smooth, I have to say, and it's a really nice way to kind of navigate around the board. So let me see if I can remember all the shortcuts. Shift ? Or Shift / right? That opens up the keyboard shortcuts modal here, so you can kind of see all the different shortcuts that are available. And you can see you can just navigate between the cards across lanes using the arrow keys. Super easy. To open a card that you're currently focused on, just press Enter or Spacebar. Of course, Escape is to like close an open card or a modal. And yeah, you can like add a new card just by pressing N. Add a new lane by Shift N. There's all these shortcuts that make it like really easy just to do stuff quickly. And yeah, so I can just kind of navigate around with my arrow keys here, and I just hit Enter, and I can open up a card, and then I can tab through all the different items. So just by clicking the tab key, I can go through And if I want to update something, I can just click edit, and those fields are all editable. Or I just click enter, sorry, and those fields are editable. So yeah, I think this just enhances the plugin even further.
Yeah, and we're going to be keeping on adding new keyboard shortcuts and make sure that existing shortcuts are enhanced as well. So yeah, for those keyboard cow people, we want to support you as much as possible. We also, one of the things that wasn't possible before, like we had in the lanes, if you hover over a card, there's a ... that represents a menu item. So if you click that, Casey, it opens up the menu items that are available for that card, including moving between lanes. That type of functionality was restricted to this view, but now when you click into a card and open up the modal, these actions are also available to you here. So if you want to move between lanes, you can do that here. And if you want to view externally, that is now exposed in this area as well. And
yeah, nice.
With that in mind, Casey, we have added some additional support for GravityView and better integrated GravityBoard and GravityView. Do you want to show how that works?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely do. So let me get out of this. We'll get out of full screen mode. Yeah, so I'm wondering if maybe I can do this demo using this employment applications view, because I think this is quite a nice sort of example of how this works. So yeah, everyone's familiar with GravityView. It's sort of our flagship plugin for building web applications on top of Gravity Forms. And here I have a simple view, or not too simple, but a pretty straightforward view where I'm displaying employment applications that have come through via a Gravity form. And I have a nice data table set up here, and I've got the different statuses and everything, and I can click into an entry, and I can see the full application here. And I can download the applicant's resume, for example, and all of that good stuff. But what you might want is another view where you can display these applications on a board, on a Gravity board, and then manage them that way. So now, we're building out this integration with GravityView, and we have an easy way for you to see cards in a view and edit them in a view, but do it from the GravityBoard, click through from the GravityBoard interface. So you can kind of create a link between a view and a board. And I'll show you how that works. And what I'll do is actually create a new board here for the employment applications that I have, and then show sort of how to set this up. And it's super straightforward. So what I'll do is I'll come over here to the entries screen, and you can see all my employment applications that have come in. And I obviously have that view already created. And now what I'm going to do is create a board for this same employment application form. So it's going to draw from the same data source. And I'll give that a name, employment applications. And we'll quickly map the fields here. So the lane field for this example will be the application status. And then the card title, we'll leave that as the name of the applicant. That's great. The card description. Yeah, we have a number of different options here, but we can leave that as tell us about yourself. So kind of like the user's bio. And then the label value, that could be the position they're applying for example. And then we can also set a due date. That could, for example, be the application date or the entry date. So we can map all these fields as we would do normally when setting up a new Gravity board. And then, of course, we have the option to enable these additional features here, which we can do, like checklists and attachments. So that's great. The next thing I'm going to do is I want to connect this to the view that I already have set up. So I'm going to go here to the GravityView tab, and I can select an existing view from the dropdown here, and I'll choose my employment applications view. And then if that view was embedded on a page, for example, I could add the ID of that page here. but in this case, I don't think it is. No, it's not embedded on a page. I'm just accessing it directly, so I don't need to add that. I'm going to go ahead and save the settings. And then what I'm going to do is quickly create a new page here. And we'll just quickly add that GravityBoard as a block. So I'll just type GravityBoard and I'll select the GravityBoard block. And then I'll add my employment applications board. Perfect. Let's go ahead and publish that. And we'll view it on the front end. So here's my board. I haven't done any customization or anything like that. It's just set up like this for now. Maybe one thing I'll quickly do is just adjust the height just so you can see it a little bit better. Let's make that 800. Save the settings and refresh. There we go. You can see that a little bit better. So yeah, so you can see I've got all of my employment applications now on the board. And you can see I've got the different lanes here waiting for review, approved, rejected. So now I have this alternate view. And if I wanted to edit one of these applications, for example, to update the status, I could click on it here. And then like Zach was showing this little menu at the top right, I'll click on that. And I have the option here to view in GravityView. I also have the option to edit in GravityView. So if I click View in GravityView, that's going to open up a new tab and take me straight to the GravityView single entry page for that particular entry. Now I can view the full application. If I go back to the board, I can open up this little menu again, and this time click Edit in GravityView. And that is going to take me straight through to the GravityView Edit Entry screen, where I can actually update the entry here directly from the front end. So yeah, Zach, did you have any thoughts you wanted to share on this new feature?
Yeah, so we are currently we're coming at this from the GravityBoard side in this demonstration, but we're also working on integrating GravityBoard better on the GravityView side. Paul Matthew had a point that he was trying to access assigned tasks in a table in GravityView, but that wasn't working yet. We're working on that. We're going to be adding support for displaying the assignees, displaying checklist items, displaying all sorts of stuff in GravityView. So we're adding support from both directions to create a more cohesive, integrated whole.
Yeah, for sure. I guess this is kind of the first step of the integration. But yeah. Oh, please.
And Vicky has a point. Please be sure to include a hook for customizing the edit in GravityView text. Vicky, based on your previous feedback and some other people's feedback as well, version 1.1 includes a hook that allows us to translate anything on the front end using a filter. So we will have full documentation on how to do that. Some people wanted to have the ability to change the name cards, which is what we call each of the entries on the front end, to jobs, for example. And so you might want to have a board use the phrase cards and jobs and not cards, and the rest of the boards use another phrase. You can customize it per board or globally, and that includes things like view in GravityView or edit in GravityView, because not everybody knows what GravityView is, and that should be something that is possible to do without having to tear your hair out. So yeah, we will definitely be adding that is integrated already in 1.1, which is coming later this week. Yeah, some of my folks will get confused. God love them. Yep. That's a good point.
Yeah, absolutely. And we don't want people to get confused. So we want to give you the ability to customize things as you need to, depending on your use case and the kind of website that you're running. Yeah.
And yeah, we're excited about all this new functionality, and some of the other things that are coming down the pike are also very exciting. We aren't going to pre-announce them here, but we're working on some additional cool stuff that we can't wait to show you as well.
Yeah, you'll have to tune into a future episode of GravityKit Live.
That's right. And yeah, GravityBoard, if you have any questions, please ask us at our support page or ask us if you're watching live. As I said, we are making rapid progress on it, so please give us your feedback as early as possible. We're going to be working on things a lot. So that's GravityBoard update for 1.1. Casey, do we have any questions that we should go over?
Oh yeah. Let's see. I think we did have a couple. I'm gonna open them up. So David did say, I need to learn more about GravityView setup and eventually evolve into the online journal setup. Learning to use GravityBoard would also help enhance our company strategies. So that's fantastic. David did say they weren't able to make the live, but they're looking forward to seeing the replay.
Mm-hmm.
And I did want to mention to everybody that there's always a replay available that you can watch. We do send that out in our newsletter. It's also on our GravityKit Academy site, where I also wanted to point David for some good kind of setup and beginner content. So we have an Academy platform, which is at academy.gravitykit.com. I'm looking if we have a link I can share.
I'll do that, Casey.
Okay, sure. Yeah, and I'm working on that. I'm working to expand that now. I've just released a course for GravityView, a brand new setup guide for GravityView, which I think will be exactly what you're looking for, David. Goes through all the basics. After I think there's about 5 or 6 videos. They're fairly short. Once you get through those, you're going to be pretty confident, I think, getting set up and doing what you need to do with GravityView. And there are a lot of short videos there about certain features and functionality. And there's a lot more stuff coming soon. So that'll be a great platform to look at.
I actually had a chance to talk with David yesterday. We had a consultation call, which is another option for people who are watching or not watching. You can schedule a consultation call with me and we can talk and I can help guide you on what you might need for your project. So David and I talked yesterday and he described to me that he's going to be putting together like an academic journal review process where people submit articles and then they can be reviewed and published and searched, and he's also going to have a directory, like a member directory that's searchable and helping connect a whole cohort, like a coalition of nurse practitioners and PhDs and stuff around one's website, which sounds like a really cool project. And one of the things he was saying is he might need help with some configuration or some styling. And I said, David, please contact our support, and everybody watching. If you have any questions, if you hit a wall, if you are like, oh, geez, the second you say, oh, geez, to yourself, email our support. We're here to help. We really, our job is to help you accomplish what you want to get done as quickly and painlessly and easily as possible. Please email our support. We are here to help you. This is what we're here for. Don't struggle. Email our support. That's my feeling. So that's what I said to David, and he's excited to dive in. He hasn't really taken. He hasn't done like a dedicated like set GravityKit up day yet. But when he does, I told him if he hits any roadblocks, let us know. In addition to the incredible available documentation on our Academy site and other places.
Awesome. Yeah, and then we had a question come through our support platform. I saw a couple of people were asking, does GravityView integrate with BuddyBoss? And BuddyBoss, obviously quite a popular plugin for doing like community sites and memberships and stuff like that. And the answer is that it depends on what you want to do exactly. Obviously, BuddyBoss has a lot of functionality. GravityView has a lot of functionality. So it depends on how you want to link those things together. We don't have any sort of like native integration with BuddyBoss, but we also, GravityView, I believe, plays nicely with BuddyBoss. You can have them both on the same side. It's not going to cause any issues. And then if you're looking to kind of integrate GravityView with other plugins, I would point you to Uncanny Automator. For now, at least, I think is a great solution. Uncanny Automator is a plugin for WordPress that essentially allows you to configure automations and integrate different plugins together. And you can do it all using a visual interface. It's very easy. There's no code involved. And they do support, what they have is like actions and or triggers and actions. So a trigger is like something you do in one plugin that triggers something to happen in another plugin. So for example, like I approve an entry in GravityView, and then a user gets added to a group in BuddyBoss or BuddyPress or whatever it might be. And to kind of show like how this functionality works, I've been working on some guides on our blog, and you can go and kind of check those out. So we have a guide on using Uncanny Automator here to connect GravityView with Paid Memberships Pro, for example. I've done another one on connecting GravityView with BuddyPress, and then another one connecting GravityView with Notion. And all of this is using Uncanny Automator as sort of like the middleman, if you will, to make that connection. So if anybody's interested on how to do that kind of thing, yeah, check out these guides. You can find them. They're all tagged with integrations. So that's how you can find them. Or you can just go to our blog and do a search, and you'll find them there.
Cool. Yeah, and we are excited about adding more functionality to Uncanny Automator surrounding GravityView and GravityKit products as a whole in the near future.
Yeah, definitely.
So Vicky writes, my users are bugging me to no end about using this tool. I desperately want them to want to set them loose on it. That's so exciting. We are, when people are bugging you, like, come on, like, let's get this integrated, let's do this. That is a really good sign that something adds a bunch of value and functionality to a workflow that might not be as good currently. So, Vicky, that's so cool to hear. We are working hard to fully support as much of your workflow as we can. That's exciting to hear. All right. Well, Casey, thank you again for all your presentation skills on GravityKit Live.
Absolutely.
And if anybody has any questions that they want us to answer, or any questions in the meantime, please email us at support@gravitykit.com. And we're also on the socials. So ping us on Facebook, ping us on Mastodon, wherever you find us. We're on LinkedIn. If you're a LinkedIn person, we're LinkedIn. And until next time, I've been Zach.
Thanks for tuning in. I've been Casey.
And yeah, thanks everybody. Have a great rest of your day.
See you next time.